get back into the chat. Any questions, please ask them as we go along. And again, as I say, Thursday night we're back with a special with Rob Curtis, 8:30. So make sure you join in then as well. Carps is back in. Let me just get him back on. Yeah, as I say, any questions, please throw them in there as we go along. Right, good. You right, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, it's a big gulp, obviously, from as you say, from Premier League, Championship, everything like that going down. But as I was touching on, and Del said it in here as well, I feel like attitudes need to change from coaches and managers, and hopefully, as our generation start drifting into maybe coaching or managing, I think we may understand it a little bit more. So hopefully that does become more frequent in maybe a coach or a manager, or passing on to actually look at the mental side of it than just physical side of it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think if you look at grassroots compared to when we were younger to how it is now, it is so much better. You're actually getting a lot more coaches that are really investing themselves into the player or the players. So I think because the grassroots has improved and that investment's there, I think the mental health now needs to really catch up or to even be on par with how grassroots has changed. And in my honest opinion, I do think it will, because away from football, I think something that Feb's touched on, suicide is absolutely massive. I've had friends of friends that have committed suicide due to issues. Do you know what I mean? And definitely comes down to who you need to speak to. What Lee mentioned, I think it's very important, finding someone that you can really turn to. And yeah, I think things like that are really important.
I was going to touch on that. Obviously, with the people, what you're comfortable to speak to. Do you feel that's a big part of opening up and having the people you feel comfortable to do that? Otherwise, you may not open up and you may struggle.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I've noticed in the footballing game is that because managers have or coaches, whether on the part-time side of it, so you're only meeting them 3 times a week, and during them 3 times a week, they've got to set their they got to set up, they got to deliver on what they do. So there isn't really time for them to sit down. So it actually takes a better man or a better coach or a better manager to really kind of sit down and notice that. And what I touched on about the attitudes of players, I think if people are being released due to attitudes, it makes me think surely these managers or coaches should see the body language of people, whether they're in the right space or headspace or if they're not. And one thing I've always noticed as well is that some people might not be suffering with mental health, but when they turn up to a match day, they might have suffered something there and then.
Yeah.
So I think it's very disguised at the moment, but I think I think managers and coaches just need to have that one-to-one time, and it could take 1 minute, it could take an hour, and I think a lot of people are embarrassed and are scared to actually approach someone, because with Jamie, I've known you so long, I probably couldn't turn to you and talk about my problems. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because in every man's head, it's like, do we want to put that on that person? Will he give me the right advice? So yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I think it's a lot of people have said it as well. I think it's education of mental health. So knowing it's the right things to say, the right things and not to say maybe at that time. You know what I mean? So it's educating ourselves as well and having that that time to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And be able to do that. Should be approached to fund the coaches and managers to train to spot personal issues from juniors upwards. That was said in one of the comments.
So yeah, I think the only thing I can think about when it comes to investment is like Sport England or the lottery. I think that they would play a massive part, because obviously I know the lottery plays a huge part in so many projects. But it obviously takes, it doesn't take obviously an individual. I think it really needs a collective to actually say, right, look, there's this huge issue with whether it's suicide, anxiety. I think there really needs, and I don't know if petition would be the right way of actually dealing with it, but I think it has to be kind of, funding should be available for mental health. If they can fund things for sports equipment and things like that, which are lost within sessions, I would prefer to invest in mental health, knowing that I could help a young man or a young female and maybe even better their life. Like I'd prefer to say, we invested 10 grand to help that foundation or that club, and loads of them have progressed from it, rather than send them equipment.
Do you feel the hope maybe that it might have lightened up a lot now, because they've spoken about it a lot now, obviously because of the coronavirus and stuff like that? Do you feel that it should open more doors now for funding for mental health? Not talking about football, but in general, because of the world we're in now, and we don't know how mental states.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think what one thing I've noticed through this COVID-19 is that there's a unity with your neighbours, with your family, with your friends. You're actually doing a lot more than what you probably did when this wasn't about. Don't get me wrong. Some people could be as consistent when this wasn't about, but I think it will be huge. I think there's gonna, once it ends, when it ends, a lot of people are gonna kind of speak to their GPs and say, look, I really struggled during that. I'm suffering. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that we don't end up finding out that there's been a lot of suicides because of this, because someone couldn't turn to someone. And you got to realise there's a lot of people on their own during this isolation as well. Some people don't have anyone to turn to. So yeah, it's a frightening time.
Yeah. Last question, like I asked everyone, overall thoughts obviously on mental health, what people can do going forward, if they have spoke about it before and they're still struggling, what else would you advise them to maybe do going forward?
I think something from when I touched on the beginning is that everyone's trying to compare their life to someone that might have something more than them. I would say don't compare yourself. Everyone has a story. Everyone can go and achieve and really put their mind to something and go and get it. I think that's advice I would give to young people now. I think something that what Lee mentioned, I said, I think it's easy just to turn to someone, whether it's money issues, you just have to lean on someone. Just it doesn't take hard, and do you know what I mean? You might find that you might grow a blossoming relationship with that person just by opening up to them, and you'll appreciate it.
100%. Carps, cheers for coming on, mate. Keep safe, and we'll catch up real soon.
Yeah, definitely. All the best. Take care, mate.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
So that's Dean Carps. Yeah, as he touched on, we've known each other for many, many years. My dad and his dad were good friends as well, and still and that. So yeah, thank you for coming on, Carps, and everyone who's come on tonight. Thank you very much for coming on. Again, as I say, if you've missed any of it tonight, I've now got a YouTube channel where I'm going to put everything on there. It's not edited. It's not about a million views. But if you missed anything tonight and you want to watch it back, please go there, subscribe. You'll get the notifications when I've uploaded it. It's mental health, #LetUsTalk. Go over there if you've missed anything, and you can watch it back once I've uploaded it. There's other videos on there as well from past ones. Yes, cheers, Carps. Appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on as well. Everyone, if you can, as you said, subscribe to that to have a watch back on other interviews as well. I had Joe Ford last week, which was a great one as well. Thank you very much again for everyone coming on. Lee as well, who's just said well done to me and that. Well done to him as well, and we'll catch up real soon, everyone. Again, please come Thursday night, 8:30. Rob Curtis, a special, touching on his story and his experiences from last week's chat with him. So everyone keep safe. If anyone's got any problems whatsoever they need to talk about, you know where to message me. Make sure you message me. Same as any of the guests. I'm sure they'll open up as well if you want to speak to them. So yeah, again, subscribe if you can to mental health hashtag let us talk. I'm finished for tonight, and I'll see you Thursday, hopefully, everyone. Keep safe. Bye. Bye. Yeah, we'll just wait for